Hi everyone, in this video we will be looking into day 5 challenge for Advent of Cyber 2024. The name of the challenge is SOCMUS XXE. Um, so if you are familiar with web application penetration testing, it sounds like XXE, like what E, so it it might be related to XML entity external and injection, um, and that is the case here. Uh, so you can read the story um, if you want to. Learning objectives are understand the basic concepts of XML, explore XML entity and its components, learn how to exploit the vulnerability, understand remediation measures. So what is XML? XML is a markup language similar to HTML. XML is used basically as a format to transfer data between client and server, just as JSON. Um, so this is a HTML. Uh, this is the data within HTML format. Sorry, XML format. Um, so here you will see different fields are there. Glitch name field, glitch address field is there, email field is there, phone field is there. Now, how to define this format? For that, we have something known as document type definition (DTD). For this particular format, this is the DTD, and you can read uh, here in the above DTD element defines the element tags that are allowed. So all of the tags are defined here in the element people, whereas PC data stands for parsed people data, meaning it will consist of just plain text. Uh, so you don't need to remember all of these things, just read through these. If you really want to read about this, go to standard for XML, a standard document for XML. Um, you will get a lot of information there regarding XML format and formatting. Um, so there is something known as entities which XML supports. Um, Entities in XML are placeholders that allow the insertion of large chunks of data or referencing internal or external files. So this is what which makes XML interesting, that you can reference internal or external files using XML, uh, whether it is a file hosted on some other URL or internal file, for example, internal system files. Um, so you can read those files as well. Um, entities can be defined internally within XML document or externally referencing data from an outside source. For example, an external entity references data from an external file or resource in the following code. Entity &ext, which is mentioned here, could refer to an external file located at this location. So when you are sending this as a payload uh, to the server, this instead of loading the address on the server side, so the server will be receiving the contents of this file robots.txt. Now it depends upon the server whether it sends this as it is in a response or not, but server will be getting robots.txt, so that is important. It depends upon the server whether in the response it is loading any of these fields or not. So if server is responding with any of these fields, then you can see your output. If the server is not loading any of these field, not sending any of these fields in the response, then it will be blind XSX, blind external XML external entity injection. Um, so just you need to determine by some other means whether your payload is working or not. Um, so this functionality, like loading external files or internal files using this file protocol, makes this XML interesting. So it depends on how the XML parsers on the server side handles the external entities. Um, you can configure it to disable this external entity thing, uh, but yes, if the web server is misconfigured, you can send these files to the server. Um, so that's what we will be looking into in this particular lab. Now we are provided with a web application running at this IP address. Let's see this application. As usual, I am already connected to the VPN for TryHackMe, and we can access the web application here in Firefox. Let it open. So this is the website. Now click on every possible button, see what it is doing. So for us, we can either click on any of these products. We can try to open the image in new um, page. So the images are stored in this particular path. Add to wish list. Now for checking out the request and response, you can use network tab. So when I click on add to wish list, this request is sent by the browser. This is the request, and request is going in XML format. Response is item added to your wish list successfully. Okay. And you can click on cart to see the things which you added in your cart. You can remove it. So for example, for removing it, this is the request which browser sent for wishlist ID 42. Okay. So for every cart, I believe there is some wishlist ID, and currently we just deleted the ID number 42. Okay, so for this particular lab, we are interested in XML, um, and we already saw the request for XML in when we add it when we added it to the cart. So this is the request in which we are interested in. Now browser don't allow us to make modifications to the request. So for that we can use tools like burpsuit or zap. um, I have already installed burpsuit, so we can use that. Now again, with the burpsuit there are two options. First of all, let me open burpsuit. I'm using community edition of Burpsuit. You can use professional version as well, but completely not required for this particular lab. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Now there are multiple tabs in here. We are interested in proxy, intruder, and repeater for this particular challenge and target. Um, Proxy tab will show you the interaction between web browser and the server. Every request and response you can see here. Um, and you can configure your browser with the burp suite proxy. So our proxy server for burp suite is listening on port number 8080 on localhost. I can show you that. Netstat minus lntp. So you can see burp suite is listening on port number 8080, and it is also listening on port number 36517. I don't know what is this, and maybe I need to look at it later. But it is listening on port 8080 for the proxy. Um, okay, so we need to configure this in our browser. For that, you go to settings, type here proxy, settings, manual 127.0.0.1 8080. Use this for everything. Okay, so our proxy is configured. Now if I click on intercept request, reload the page, we are capturing the requests. So now we can start fiddling with the requests. This is the request for product. Add to wish list. Let's capture this request. Send it to repeater. Intercept off. Okay, so this is the request which adds the item into cart. Next, proceed to checkout. Intercept on. Proceed to checkout. Send to repeater. For seeing the response, you can directly do intercept response to this request. Forward, and you see the response of this request. You can render the response as well. OS does not with the sandbox. Okay. Because I'm running as root user, so that's why I'm getting this error. Forward. So when we click on checkout, we get this checkout form to be filled. And let me fill that. My name is Prabsimran. Address, like, and subscribe. Very, very interesting address. Uh, Complete checkout. Again, you can see the response. Forward. This is the response. Forward. Wish successful. Your wish has been saved as wish. This, and we have a URL here. Let me try to access it. Error Santas else are the only ones who can read the wishes. So we are not allowed to read this file. Okay, something to be noted. Next, okay, let's play with this. Add to cart request, because this is the XML which we can fiddle with. Let us try to read some internal files using the payload provided here. For example, etc/host file. This is the file for used for local domain name resolution. Means if you do not have DNS server, you can use this file as your mapping host to IP addresses. So let's try to read this. This is the payload. Copy this as it is. Modify your request. Send. And we are able to read the etc/host file. Let's try to read passability file. This file contains the user information for the Linux, and we are able to read the users available on the system: games user, www data user. Okay, so you got the point. You can do very interesting things with this functionality. You can read environment variables, you can read uh, current process information, like the current process with which web server is running right now. Many things you can do, but that is out of scope. Uh, that is for advanced enumeration. So as we are able to read the file, one thing you can also notice is in the response, the server is responding with the header of with the server, and it is showing that it is running Apache, and Ubuntu is the OS. Now, um, web servers usually use default web root uh, if it is not changed by the um, website administrator. By default, they will have a very specific path for the web root. Web root means the root of the web application. Whenever you access a website, so that is the root is the path where index.html is stored basically. So that is the first page which opens when you access a application. Now for Apache 2.4.4.1, you can search over internet to find its web root. Now I have already done that, so I just asked default web root for Apache 2.4.4. Our Apache is installed on Ubuntu, so this is the path. Now we know what is the web root path, so we can just add this and try to read, for example, wishlist.php maybe. Product ID is empty. So this website is running PHP, that's why we are unable to read this file, otherwise we would uh, be able to read that. We can try one more thing to make sure that yes, we are in the web root. So we are one, two, three directories uh, above the root. So we can go back three times and try to access a default file, for example, etc slash passwd. So if we are able to see this file, it means we are in correct location. And yes, we are. So this is just for demonstrating like we are uh, in a correct web route. This path is valid. Um, so now we can try to read other files which might be available in the web root. For example, index.html maybe. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, I don't think it is available. So let's read the challenge statement now. I think we will be able to answer all the questions now. Um, so they are asking now the objective is clear, vulnerability discovered. To get started, let's recall the page that is only accessible by admins. Okay, yes, now we can try to read this page, which is this. Paste, send, and we are able to read it, yes. And my address is correct. Um, let me open the questions now. What is the flag discovered after navigating through the wishes? So I have seen wish number 22. So it is like you can guess there might be 21 more wishes like other than our wish. So you can use intruder for this. Just send this request to intruder. Um, click on 22 number. Add. Just click here. Add this symbol. So what is happening here is now we will be modifying this number 22 with each request, and I am assuming like there are 21 more wishes. So we can choose payload type as numbers here from 0 to 21. Step is 1. Step means like how much addition you want to make between each request. Like for example, the first request will go with number 0, second with 1, third with 2. If we choose step as 1, if we choose step as 2, first request will go as 0, second request will go as 3. So you get the point. Start the attack. Now you can see each request. First request goes with default payload, that is 22. Second request goes with 0. Third request goes with 1. So like that. Now based upon the length of the responses, you can sort the requests. So request with wish 15 is the response of this request is biggest in size. So if we see the response, this is the flag for the first question. Next question is what is the flag seen on the possible proof of sabotage? For this you need to read all of these things. Um, and there is a changelog file in the default web root which contains the information who made the changes. A changelog is basically a log which which is used by a versioning system like Git, I believe. I am not exactly sure. Uh, so it contains what are the commits which were made to the code, who made the changes, when the changes were made, and commit ID as well. So let me try to access this URL, and our second flag is here. So that is pretty much it for this particular challenge. Um, you can do many more things with XXE. For example, um, you can try to access external websites. Many malicious things you can do. Maybe possibilities are endless. So I would like you to read more about XXE. Um, you can do server-side injection as well. Um, so thank you for watching. Bye bye.